Yes, sir. It's good to be back with another vlog. No way. Just pause. Oh, back. Good to be back with another vlog. I just got back from Cancun. That was a euphoric time, by the way. It was a good vibe, good energy. And having that good time and coming back home and making that transition, it kind of put in my head to where, like, all right, are pain and pleasure linked? And they definitely are. That's like, I think pain and pleasure are like twins because I feel like you can't have one without the other. You can't have pleasurable times without the pain, and you can't have painful times and not feel grateful about the pleasure. And I feel like that goes to anything too. Like pleasure, and just too much pleasure is pain anyways, right? Too much pleasure, too much of a pleasurable time becomes painful regardless. And I don't know, I definitely did have a euphoric time in Cancun. You need to make sure that you enjoy life for sure and try to enjoy experiences and make those experiences count at all times because you're never going to get those things back. And I feel like at the end of the day, too, you have to earn good experiences as well. You can't just, good experiences are just given to you, so to speak. You have to earn those good times and good experiences through what you've done through action. So I was thinking, like, I've done things where, all right, I can earn myself a good time, right? But even after having that good time, I'm like, I'm thinking back, like, I need to get back to my routine, bro. Like, I was like, bro, I need to get back on focus. That was probably the hardest part coming back to Cancun. Cause I don't drink like that. I drank the whole weekend. So I got fucked. Drank the whole weekend. So that was the hardest part coming back from Cancun is making that transition to where getting back on my focus, getting back on my pivot. So like sometimes you can get off your pivot when you have a lot of fun. But at the end of the day too, like, you're supposed to have a good time. You gotta enjoy life. Not everything's about just being miserable all the time. I mean, not miserable because my routine is not miserable. Like, I just work and go to the gym, make sure try to get my focus, try to make millions. But I mean, you do have to enjoy. Once again, you do have to enjoy life. But pain and pleasure. I think with pain, people try to avoid pain because I mean, everybody tries to avoid pain. Nobody wants to go through pain, right? But I think a lot of times too that pain is mostly in our head. A lot of times people will be going through painful experiences and it wasn't even physical. It was all mental experiences. I needed to have this discussion today because today in my head I was thinking I had a bad day. I woke up, I had a weird dream that pissed me off. Like I had a dream that made me upset. Woke up. I was like, all right, this dream pissed me off. Well, that's weird, but let me just go all my day. Something else. I was like, okay, now this happened. Okay. And that frustrated me. So I could technically see how I was like, all right, I'm not having a good day. I'm very frustrated today. I feel very. And then I had to realize, something's all in my head. Like nothing happened to me physically to make me say that I had a bad day. It was just really everything mentally that frustrated me. It was all mental frustrations. And I think that's well too. And I was thinking in my head today too. I'm at work and I'm like, you know something, Mike? You're the fucking man. You don't get sad. Cause I was thinking in my head like, damn, am I sad right now? Like, why am I sad? And I was like, no, something. I don't get sad. I'm the man. Why will I get sad? For what? What am I sad about? Because of some mental things that might have happened that might have frustrated me. And like, sometimes when you have expectations on something, that's what's really going to get you off your pivot. When you have an expectation about something and then might not go that way. And when you see that, you're just like, all right, what the fuck? And that might frustrate you. But at the end of the day, too, it's all mental frustrations. It's not even that important when you think about it. When you really come to the conclusion, you're like, was that even important? Did that even matter? And you're like, no. It doesn't even matter at the end of the day. Like, I still have my life. I'm breathing, doing my thing. Like, what am I mad about? Like, sometimes, and then you go to the conclusion, like, what am I mad about then? And you're like, okay, so I'm mad about this, so to speak. Why? Why am I mad about that? And then you see that and you're like, that's not a good enough reason to be upset, Mike. And honestly, I was able to really come to that conclusion too after I hit the gym. Because I knew that you get really frustrated even more when you don't work out. Because sometimes when you work out, you're able to put that frustration out there and you're able to, just release those endorphins. You're able to release things. And then after you work out and after you calm down, you're like, okay, let me evaluate something. Let me see. Oh, okay. This is the reason why I was frustrated. But at the end of the day, it really does not matter. It doesn't matter. What really matters is you staying consistent to yourself. People are going to try to throw you off your pivot. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes motherfuckers want to throw you off your pivot. But when you really come to the conclusion, it doesn't matter. You have to understand, I got myself out the mud through anything. I've been there for myself through thick, thin, and everything. So that's what I meant to say. It's all learning lessons. That's the most beautiful part. It's a learning lesson. You're just like, something, what is this teaching me? What am I supposed to understand by me going through the situation and being upset? What am I supposed to be taught? What is this trying to show me about myself? Oh, it's how I react. Sometimes you cannot react fast. Honestly, not sometimes. I think all the time. You just can't react fast. You have to really slow down, think about the situation, look at the situation for what it could be and what it is, and be like, okay, is this going to be, how I react to this, is this going to be for the embetterment of what I'm trying to do? If it's not, you just have to react to it in a different way. Sometimes when you react fast and when you react frustrated, your point's not going to get seen. It's not going to be understood. So a lot of times you have to understand your life and be like, okay, this is what it's supposed to teach me. This is what my learning lesson is supposed to be. So since this is supposed to be my learning lesson, I'm going to take this for what it is and become better from it. Just like everything. You must take everything for what it is: fear, frustrations, pain, pleasure, everything. Take it for what it is, and it's supposed to teach you something. Everything is supposed to be taught. Life is a learning lesson. That's why I think school's a scam, because the world's going to teach you everything you need to know. The world teaches you everything. It matters. People just think just because they've totally graduated from something that they don't need to learn anymore. Earth and the universe is going to teach you everything you need to know about life. The minute you walk out your fucking house, you're going to learn something about life. How life's going to knock you down sometimes. And how are you going to get back up? Are you going to not get back up and be like, oh, no, cry? Or are you going to be like, and get back up? You know what I'm saying? Get back up. That's just what it is. Life's gonna mentally try to break you before things come out physically. I think those mental barriers is what really, I know mental barriers is what really people see as pain. People see pain. A lot of people's pain is just mental. It's just mental setbacks. It's what they see as their painful times. I haven't even gone through anything physically. I've been through some physical shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, Mike, you've been through some physical things, bud. That's like, bro, what's wrong with you? I had to really sit down myself. So, anybody watching this, sometimes, sometimes you got to make sure you're mentally good. You got to make sure you're good at the end of the day. Nobody's going to make sure you're good besides yourself at the end of the day. Make sure you're good. Make sure you got yourself straight. Make sure your life is good before anything. Before anybody else, before anything, just make sure you're good, because nobody's going to help you get out the mud besides yourself and besides what you got going on. Pain and pleasure, they're linked. You can't, it's a universal law for both of them to be together. Too much pleasure is pain. You can't have too much pleasure because it's going to lead to a downfall of pain, regardless. I mean, that's like this. Cocaine is pleasurable. You have too much cocaine, you can become a shitty person. You're going to be off your pivot. You know what I'm saying? And I think pain is a learning tool. I've learned everything through pain. I've learned all my lessons in life, and everything I'm grateful for has happened through pain. It's happened through painful times. Pain and pleasure. Can't have one without the other. Yin and yang. No light without dark. Linked. I'm so happy to be back. So happy to be with another vlog. Back on this shit. I don't know, last time I posted, I think it was probably like on Friday or something. But back on my shit, bro. Too much pleasure. Too much pleasure, you know what I'm saying? But back on it, back on my grind, back on things that need to be done. I just want to say that big things are on the way. I don't want to talk too much because I like to prove action before anything. Action before talking. I'm done with all that talking shit to where like, people just talk. There's nothing behind it. Nah, I'm done. Nobody. That's just trash. Action before anything. Let's go.